So the reason why it did not find it was because of the relative path. So you can see there should have been a dot here saying that, okay, the dot means that from the current folder, look into a folder called CSS, right? And then try and find the right brain1.png. So if I refresh this, you can see that the image loaded now. We can also load images from another website, right? Or another page sitting somewhere. So, for example, if I put an image here, uh, and let's tie this down. I already have a link. Okay, so I'm just gonna paste the link, right? So the source of this is from this. I just got it from the internet and I just pasted it. So this is the source of your PNG file, and I constricted it to 100 pixels by 100 pixels. So if I refresh this, you can see here the image has shown right here, right? So you can do it from a local folder, or you can do it from an external site. You can also use an image as a link, right? So instead of having uh, a word as a link, you can use an image as a link. So let's do that now. So we have our anchor tag, which we know is for links, and your anchor tag should contain your href, which is going to take you to uh, wherever you want it to go. Let's just say google.com, right? So I'm just gonna put in the google.com. Do I already have the link somewhere? I'll just copy and paste. Okay. And in the anchor, I'm gonna have our image, right? So I'm gonna put the image, and I'm gonna have our image. So what image can I use? Let me use one of these images that I already have, right? So you can copy all this, and then put it as our image attribute values. Okay, so we have this. We tied it to our a anchor element as a link, and so when I refresh this, you have it here. When I go closer, you see the hand saying that it's a link. I can click it. This one doesn't have any link, right? So this should take us to google.com, and we have it. So I'm going to go back. So that's how we can use an image as a link. Another thing we can do is that we can float an image left or right of the text, right? So let's take an example. We have our P element, our P, and in this P, I'm just going to write this image is left of the text, right? Oops, text. And then in this P, I'm now going to have our image, right? So img, and I'm gonna put the image in there. So again, let me copy this whole thing. So I'm gonna put the image here. So let me just refresh it, and you can see that the image is left of the text, right? Now, there is a style attribute called float, and we can float this right or left of the text. So we're just gonna add, there's already a style here, so I'm gonna put in there the floats, and I'm gonna put a value of right. right? So we are saying that float this image right of the text. So when I refresh it, the image has now shifted to the right of the text. And you can float it left also by default. So you can have both. So let's look at background images, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna uh, do this. Okay, so I commented all that out so it does not distract us. So our page is now blank, right? So I'm gonna have we can put a background image on a page, right? So let's just say uh, in our body, right? We want to style our our body, right? So what we can do is we can just add the style, right? A style element here and say background image, and the value should be URL and uh, in single quotes. And what are we looking for? Brain, right brain, one dot png, right? So I'm gonna do this, and you can see that the background of your page is now the right brain, right? So you can do it there again. You can do it uh, as part of the style attribute in your head if you want it, and we're gonna discuss that later when we come to CSS. When we come to HTML, CSS, a little further down, right? And then you can see that it repeats. The reason why it repeats is because the element is smaller than it's smaller than the image is smaller than the element, so that's why it keeps repeating. So it's going to repeat horizontally and vertically until it reaches the end of the element. So that's why we have it repeating, right? So um, that is how we add a background to uh, an element. You can add it to a div or whatever that you want. So thanks for watching. This was just a little summary of um, uh, HTML images. And so we are going to look at this a little bit more into detail when we come to CSS itself. So thanks for watching. See you in the next lesson.